Lightning crashes, oh mother cries. Fuck. Her placenta to the floor as the angel and it falls to the light. Is that a good angle there? Just trying to get this. Clearly, I'm not very professional. I'm balancing my fucking camera. Look at this. On a fucking shaker bottle. That's my quality, baby. Anyways. Oh, yeah. There we go. This is it's a pretty cool setup I have here, too, huh? This is, I don't know, for some reason I'm always pounding coffee when I decide to make these videos. So, and then when, of course, I'm pounding coffee, I'm at the old dinner table, and it gets my frickin' that sweet, sweet drawing in there. So that's me, and that's my cartoon wife right there. It's a pretty cool sketch. My wife's cousin drew that as a wedding present for us. I think it looks pretty cool. I like it. But anyways, let's get back to it. The angel opens her eyes. Pale blue colored eyes as the fucking placenta falls through the floor. Oh, my feeling burning back again. All right, that's enough. I'm just trying to do something unique here. Like Mark Bell does his fucking stupid raps, so I'm like, shit, let's do kick-ass fucking 90s jams from my childhood. All right, so that was Live, Lightning Crashes. I heard that song on the radio the other day. I haven't heard that in, Jesus Christ, like a decade. And that's a fun song to sing along to. So I looked up the lyrics to that, and I never knew this. For like the 20-some fucking years that song's been on the radio, I've never known he said her placenta falls to the floor. Wow. Her placenta to the floor. Something like that. All right. Let's get to it, though. So, I'm just trying to throw another video at you guys every day. All right. So I'm thinking today. All right, yeah, this is something I wanted to talk about. I think an awesome topic, or things I can just throw a curveball at you. Let's change the way you think about lifting. And if not, doesn't have to be forever, but do this. Challenge yourself to change your program up. Or I guess it's my challenge to you. Do this. Look at your lifting in a whole different sense. Do this instead. Do this for me, because I think you'll thank me when you do this. Don't just follow a program to do it. It's, oh, that's my strength training, right? I'm doing it to get big. I'm doing it to get strong. Nah, do it like this. Think about whatever it is that you want to be good at, all right? And think about that as a skill. Just as a skill. Think about it as like a sport. All right, and I guess you could consider powerlifting a sport, like Olympic lifting is a sport too. But I think a lot of times people, they understand like, oh, Olympic lifting, there's a lot to it, right? There is a lot to it. Fuck. I mean, I went through USA weightlifting. I went through their like instructor course, sports performance course too, and I got certified with that shit. But really, I mean, you got to do that stuff for a long time to get really, really good at it. You can't just do a 2-day course and be like, oh no, I'm pretty goddamn solid with full snatches and clean and jerks. Because there's a lot to it. There's a lot of skill and it takes a lot of practice. So my whole point being is everyone understands that there's a lot of skill involved with Olympic lifts, and same thing with powerlifting, right? Like your bench press, it's not just like you pick up the bar, right? You don't bring it down, press it back up, and that's it. There's a lot to it. It could be your head position. It could be your foot position. It's what you're doing with your hips, what your legs, with your shoulder blades, with your elbows. There's a lot to think about there. And then there's even smaller things as well, like your lift off and how you're breathing and everything like that, really. Same thing with your squatting, same thing with your deadlifting. So my whole point being is this is it. And this is something that completely changed the way I strength train too, is when I do something, I stick with it because I'm looking at it as that's a skill, right? And this is where it all comes from anyways. So I've talked about it a little bit in my other video, but just in more detail. So I I wrestled for the Wisconsin Badgers. All right, I started wrestling when I was 11 years old. And I wrestled until I was 20, 25, 26. So I wrestled for a long time. Well, when you're in college and you're wrestling Division One and Big Ten, all right, and that's the highest level of folk style wrestling in the world. I mean, we're talking Big Ten Conference. Doesn't get tougher than that. All right, you're going through the fucking meat grinder every single day. And I tell you, going through that sucked. It wasn't until my senior year I'm like, oh shit, like, I don't want this to end. I want to embrace this, but holy shit. Redshirt year, freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, it sucked. I'm just being real. And that's because we would practice easily twice a day, right? We didn't even practice over Christmas break. We would practice 3 fucking times a day. 3 times a day. That was literally practice, go home for 2 hours, come back, practice, or do your strength and conditioning, go back, come back. Like, holy shit, you were beat the fuck up. You were beat the fuck up. All right? But it's not like we got a break. It's not like our coaches, and granted, a lot of coaches are in the dinosaur age too, and a lot of coaches could be better with how they structure practices and recovery and all that. But I'm glad that they didn't do that, because it made me realize that when all was done and said, it's like, holy shit, my body, not just mine, but everyone's body is capable of going through so much more. And that's what just drives me insane too about people taking days off, or like, oh, I deadlifted once a week and holy shit, like I need a break. I got to give my body a break. Do you really? Or do you just need to ramp it up a notch and just build your work capacity too? Because it's not like you would never adapt to it. And I think that I was fortunate enough to go through that fucking Division One program too, go through all of that and understand that, I mean, like, that's what we're doing. It's, you go through the ringer and you had no choice. You had to do it. Unless you quit the team, but I wasn't a bitch. I wasn't going to just quit the team. So you go through it and you adapt. Yeah, the beginning of the season fucking sucks, right? And you're beat up and you're sore, so goddamn sore every fucking day, but you adapt to it. And it's the same thing with strength and conditioning. Like, and this is what pisses me off too, that I've been doing this for years now, of like deadlifting every day or doing a single movement every day. And don't worry, I'll get back to my original point of what I was talking about in the first place. But I've been doing this for fucking years, of doing the same exercise day after day after day and just ramping it up a little bit, just linear progression every day. And you adapt. I mean, you don't burn out. It's not like you get weaker every day. You will reach a point where you plateau, but your body is going to adapt to that movement and you're going to make progress. You're going to make progress every time. If you lock in, you have the guts, you have the balls, you're going to make progress with that lift too. And that's why I train the way I do. It's because you become more efficient at that particular movement. Now that's what I'm saying. I'm losing train of thought because, as I told you guys, of course, I mean, as you know by the quality of these videos, they're kind of blurry. It's kind of shitty. It's fucking iPhone 5 that I'm getting text messages and I'm reading the text messages as I'm making the video. So my brain, I told you, it's all over the place. But anyways, my whole point bringing it back is look at your lifting as a skill. So my whole point being was wrestling. Obviously, that's a skilled sport. It doesn't matter. You could be the strongest fucker in the world and you could take on the weakest fucker in the world. But if that weak string bean has a ton of technique, chances are he'll probably win. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it, but it's a technical sport. All right, same thing with a bunch of lifts. That look at it as a skill in the sense of, okay, I really want to be good at, and this is why on my channel, you'll see that I stick with, for the most part, I pick a movement and I stick with it. T-bar row, for instance. I was doing T-bar rows for like 3 weeks straight. But that's because it's not like I've been doing T-bar rows my whole freaking life. You know what I mean? Like, I started doing it and every day, it's like, yeah, of course, my lats were sore, my rear delts, my traps, everything was sore. That doesn't mean shit, though. That doesn't mean shit. Work through it. Sack up, right? Just like back in college, like, you got to go through practices. Coach would laugh at you if, oh, I'm sore. Can I just go home and sit this one out? No, you just bust your ass through it. So anyways, you're going to get more efficient with the movement itself. All right. And you're going to make gains in that regard. And eventually, yeah, it's going to plateau. You can't just, oh, I'm starting I'm starting with a 315 deadlift and I'll be at 2,000 pounds a month from now. That's not going to happen, obviously. But you'd be amazed that if you stick with it and every day, I mean, just don't go full retard with it. And that's what I'm saying, though, too, is I'm all over the place. That's what I was saying I was upset about. I've been doing that for years now, like deadlifting every day. And then, of course, I think, like, I check T Nation every now and then when I'm bored and there's nothing to do. And, of course, now they're, like, having articles. They're, oh, deadlift every day. Like, it's possible. Well, no shit, it's fucking possible. If people had the cojones to go out there and just try shit for themselves, they would know that. Of course, as I was saying, just don't be retarded about how you're handling it. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, what I do is, yeah, I try to max out with a movement every day, but I'm not doing it in a really dumb sense, like in regards to, all right, I hit my max and I drop down and I do a fucking million sets. No, you just climb up the ladder. All right, I'm tapped out there. I'm done. I'm done for the day. And that's what I do with my workouts. As I was saying, structure it in regards to, all right, this lift, this is a skill. I want to get better at this skill. I'm going to just focus on this. I'm going to think about every single thing I'm doing with my warm-up sets too. I'm going to max out my potential. Okay, once I reach that, it's not going to go any farther than that. Cut it out. Don't even work out then. Just, that's your day. And then come back the next day and do the same thing. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, this feels better. Oh, I like this. This is comfortable. Good. Cut it out then after that. Next day, do that. And then eventually you'll do that and you'll be like, all right, fuck, I can't seem to get past this particular weight right here. And then what you do, then you switch movements. You do the same thing with something that would have a little bit of carryover to that other lift. You focus on that, just climb up the ladder, and you get what I'm saying. And now that's fun too, because you're gonna see progress every day. It's gonna start to feel a little better and better. You're not pushing yourself to the point where you're just a worthless piece of shit because you've gone so hard in the gym every day. You have a little bit in the tank every time. You're ready to freaking take on that exercise. You have goals, and they're right there. I'm talking short-term goals. I'm talking day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like, that's what I'm freaking talking about. All right, so Jesus Christ, this is a fucking long video. 12 minutes, going on 12 minutes and 30 seconds. But what's my whole point here? My whole point is it doesn't have to be, okay, like this is, so many people train like this. I'm going to do flat bench, incline bench, decline bench, flies, skull crushers. Like, what are you even trying to accomplish? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you doing? I mean, yeah, you're gonna stress your body up, but holy shit, if you just pick one exercise, you get really freaking good at that exercise, you start moving crazy weight, that shit's gonna tax your body more than a typical like bodybuilding split like that. And trust me, I started lifting when I was 11 years old. I'm almost 28 years old now, so I've been doing it for a long time myself. I started doing the bodybuilding, lifting when I was 11 up until when I was about 22, I believe. And that's when I started switching to like just deadlifting a fuck ton and doing that type of stuff. The heavy stuff, doing more singles and more consistent with that type of training. But holy shit, just give it a try, see how it feels. I'll make another video touching on this. I just want to keep throwing shit at you guys to really change your perspective on everything. So let me know what you think. And if you have other ideas for videos then too, of course, by all means, throw them at me. I'd love to talk about other stuff. I have a lot of ideas of things to cover, but I always like to hear from you guys as well. So, Jesus Christ! All right, going on 14 minutes here. I think that was a good one. All right, let me know what you think.